where our community can really go in this area and looks ahead for us, and he just did a fantastic job with that. On page 5, Dr. Colbert from our board, he talks about how we can be a catalyst for societal learning in facilitating sustainability-focused, multi-party dialogue and action. And that's, I think, what the possibility we have before us here. The reality is this is really just the start. You heard some of the stats. It's great that we've reduced 104 tons last year, but the possibility of this number of people from this diversity of sectors coming around one room and talking about the same thing in a collaborative way, I'm really excited for what we can do here. So as an organization, I can talk about some of our goals. So our membership at the end of 2009, we had 10 organizations on board, we had 1,200 tons committed, and we had 154 tons reduced. By the end of 2010, we're hoping to have 30 members as a part of the Regional Carbon Initiative, 4,200 tons committed to be reduced, and 500 tons actually reduced. In terms of progress towards that, I'm really happy to say things are going pretty well. At the beginning of this month, we had a joint announcement from the insurance industry. 5 organizations signed on as observing organizations. That's Sun Life, Economical, OTIP, GORE, and the Farm Mutual Reinsurance Plan, which is fantastic to see a whole industry come together at one time and lead as a group in a very collaborative way. In addition to that, the Waterloo Region Record, Mennonite Savings and Credit Union, and Wilfrid Laurier University have all signed on since the end of 2009 as observing organizations, looking to say what a reduction commitment can be for them. In addition, we've also signed on one of what I have a hard time saying, but is called a sustaining partner. This is a pledging partner that has made a reduction commitment. Virtual Causeways committed to reduce their emissions by 20% over the next 10 years, and they've provided an additional financial investment to allow us to continue to work towards our mission. And we're incredibly thankful for their support as well, and excited to have them on at the bronze level as they work towards their reduction commitment. Also, to work towards this reduction goal, tonight we're announcing the start of an ambassador program. These are passionate supporters of ours from across the community who we've empowered to share information about the work we're doing in their business and social networks. They assist us in connecting to the community, building relationships, and helping share opportunities to connect with and support the work we're doing through volunteerism, employment, attending events, sponsorship, membership. The list kind of goes on and on. So if you don't mind, I'm going to have these 7 people all stand up so the folks know who they are. So I'm going to start with Hillary Abel from RQ, Eric Davis from White Duncan and Linton, Dana Fox from Athena Software, Paul Lupinacci from Forte Ventures, Alex McCullum from Research in Motion can't be here tonight, John Min from Green Tech, I believe, is, and Jim Sinclair from PanoCap Canada certainly is, and they're in the middle. Thanks, Jim. So that's the kind of where we're going and the looking ahead, and I think the possibility is really exciting. My personal favorite part of the night is some thank yous that we have, and I promise to keep this fairly short. On page 21 of the report, we summarize or we present all the volunteers that have been a part of this organization over the past year and a half. And as much as I was surprised, and it was nice to hear some really nice things said about me over this time, the reality is that we are a volunteer-driven organization. This slide is, we couldn't even fit all the volunteers on one slide. This is the first slide of volunteers. This is the second. Every volunteer in our organization helps out in every aspect, whether it is in running events, in GHG accounting, finance, marketing, graphics. It is how we work. And so we could not do what we're doing without them. So I'd like to bring Pam Hartman up. Pam is a volunteer. She's also our HR lead, and I'm just going to present her with a plaque with all of our volunteers who've helped out over the past year that will go up in our office. So thank you. So in addition to that, if if possible, if all the volunteers who are in the room now, if you're either a past or a present volunteer, I'm not sure everyone knows who you all are. So if you could stand up, so folks can get a sense of who has been volunteering over the past year and a half, that'd be excellent. Thank you. It's a really amazing team of people that come together to make this all happen. And I'm going to try to take that to the next step as well. We have a lot of other people to thank, and I'd like you to know who they are as well. So if I can have people stand up as I read out these different groups, and if you can keep standing up, it's almost a mini experiment to see how many people in this room are actively involved in making this all happen. We talk about collaboration a lot. This is it. So if I can have all the volunteers stand up a second time to be recognized again. Thank you. And then keep standing up. If you're a representative of a member organization, either that's in the 2009 report or who has signed on in the last 2.5 months, if you could stand up as well. If we can also have our board of directors and our advisory board stand up. These are also volunteer positions. They lead and guide the direction of the organization. If we can have our founding partners, if you're an employee of a founding partner organization, if you're an employee of a grantor, one of the 4 grantors that have financially supported our work over the past year, if you're an employee of an event sponsor, if you could stand up as well. If you participated in the external working group, one of the 22 people who helped us put this framework together, if you could stand up. If you contributed to the 2009 report, if you could stand up as well. If you're a member of the media who has covered our work over the past year and shared our work with the community at large, if you could stand up. And if you're an ambassador, if you're not standing up already, if you can stand up as well. These are the people across our community. It's nice when people say, Mike, you're doing great work. These are the people that are doing great work in our community that are making this happen and are going to continue to over the next few years. So thank you for all of your work. And I have one last very small group to thank, and that's our staff team. And hopefully, I'm impressed by how incredibly small this team is that makes all this work happen. So first of all, Lisa Chapman has run another fantastic event. If at least you could raise your hand. Thank you to Lisa. Matthew Day is our GHG accounting lead. He was the lead author on the member profiles, quarterbacked the entire annual report with a volunteer. Jody Miller has been a volunteer in the past, is now an interner on Web and IT. Jody, are you in the room? We're going to clap for you anyway. Jody, excellent. And last, our 2 co-op students, Gary Marsh and Corey Wells. If you could both stand up as well. So thank you to all of you. And so there you have it. That's the end of our program, for at least my part of it tonight. I'm going to bring Lisa back up. I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with all of you over the next year, as we have a lot of work to do towards our vision of both of a thriving Waterloo region with an excellent economy and a healthy environment. And I say this again, I think with a collaborative mentality at the core, I'm really excited for the leadership our community has the opportunity to show. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Every time Mike starts going down memory lane and thanking people, I almost get kind of teary-eyed as I think of all of us in one room working together. One thing I'd like to point out is he did mention our 2 co-op students at the end, and both Corey and Gary, that video that you saw at the very beginning, they've put their time into that. So not only are our volunteers taking on positions like marketing and HR, but we also have our co-op students not sitting behind a desk pushing paper. They're out filming you individuals in the community and working with organizations like Angle Media. So thank you again to Corey and Gary. I really appreciate all the time you put in on that. And that brings us back to the beginning. At the end of the event, I'd like to thank our event sponsors again. We have our presenting sponsor, the Wilfrid Laurier University CMA Center for Business and Sustainability. Our 3 supporting sponsors, Research in Motion, the University of Waterloo School